So before we actually start off discussing the match, sorry for the technical difficulties. We ended up having a bit of a frozen video there.
Yeah.
Would have given you a podcast experience, but not a podcast, but a video platform. So we figured we'd end that. Join you guys quickly, continue, pick up the discussion where we left off. So India have won the third and final T20I series. Wasn't a win that came without a few nervy moments, especially
Yes.
with the batting, as always.
Especially with the batting. And remember, the batting has been India's major concern. And even if you look at it today, in a chase of 127, which by the way, let me just tell you how it panned out. England were looking at a pretty decent position at 69 for 3. But then they lost 5 wickets for just about 16 runs. Shreyanka Patil was on a hat-trick. Saikya Ishak was on a hat-trick. Both missed it. After that, Heather Knight, the veteran, she showed her value at that time, and that's why her 50-run partnership for the 9th wicket ensured they at least got to 126. If it was not for her, India would have chased this total down in a canter.
Absolutely.
After that, Smriti Mandhana, and if you have to look at it, Smriti Mandhana started slowly. Unfortunately, Shefali Verma's form continued to struggle. Then Jemima Rodriguez, you see, this match had a bit of a tense edge to it. Why? Shane, I think Jemima and Smriti had a confrontation with Sophie Eccleston, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So there was a bit of tension in this match also. I think the frustration was that India just couldn't win in front of their home fans. That was there. But then, towards the fag end, Jemima had fallen. After that, Smriti Mandhana fell. Richa Ghosh, we said, oh no, not again.
It felt
please."
like it felt like a tale as old as time, really, when it comes to this team. Because again, when they have one or two players bat through, they'll win on a canter.
Yes.
But when they lose a couple of wickets, there's always a worry, a fear that they're going to lose like not just 2, but maybe 3, 4 in a cluster, and that's it. That's the match done.
Today, England lost 5 wickets in the space of 12 balls. That was the thing. At one point, 4 wickets for just one run. 4 wickets for just one run, and they were in deep trouble. Shreyanka Patil and Saikya Ishak. Yet again, if you have to look at 2 stars that have been unearthed in this particular match and potentially in the series, it's these 2 individuals. Shreyanka Patil has continued to impress. Remember, she was the first Indian to play in the women's CPL for the Guyana Amazon Warriors. And today, she just showed her class with her deception, with the way her accuracy was, her off breaks, simply magnificent. And because of that, even Saikya Ishak, the left arm orthodox spinner, she got the skid from the Wankhede wicket, and that's why she managed to break through. And that's why England were 20-30 runs short. If they had made 150, game over. India were not chasing this.
I think even if they got to about 140, it would have been a tough ask. Because again, the other thing, by the way, which I think this England team, and again, it is worth repeating, it's nowhere near a full strength England team.
It is.
It does have a lot of newer players, even though there's obviously sprinkled in with a ton of experience. But there's a lot of the younger players there. And today, the inexperience showed in one regard, extras.
Extras. I mean,
Far
look
too
at
many
it.
extras.
33 of 27 was needed. India could very well have been under pressure, but Freya came, she bowled 5 wides, and after that 2 more wides were conceded. A total of close to 15 wides were given in the entire match by England. Take away that 15, India were very well made to sweat right till the very end in this.
Yeah, exactly. Because again, you had hopes from Richa.
Yeah.
Thinking, okay, with Richa there, you were maybe 1 or 2 shots away. Then Richa gets out. That point, you're thinking, ooh, suddenly things are getting nervy.
Yeah.
Harmanpreet, her problem with T20Is is that she will neither rotate the strike and then fail to hit the big shots. So it was worrisome at that point. Then I think you got that one boundary courtesy of
Amanjot Kaur.
Yes, Amanjot. And once that was done, then you're like, okay. Because then at that point in time, the asking rate was well under like 2-3, because you needed like 5 runs of like 10 balls.
You needed 5 of 8.
Yeah.
So that is why I'm already saying this particular England team, not full strength, but they managed to beat India 2-1, which shows India's what if series. If Renuka Singh Thakur had taken those 2 wickets in the first T20I and the other bowlers had backed her up, England would not have posted 190 plus. But unfortunately, England posted. Danny Wyatt hit a brilliant 77, which finally got her into the WPL auction for UP Warriors. Last year, she wasn't picked.
She wasn't picked. It was very surprising.
Yep. And second T20I, India's absolutely woeful shot selection in
Too
short.
many sweeps.
80.
Too many sweeps.
England 81 for 6. If it was 120 or 130, England might have struggled.
Exactly.
So this series, yes, you got a consolation in India at the Wankhede Stadium. You look at it, fans were packed because free attendance, and on top of that,
Sunday evening.
Sunday evening. But it is a case of what if.
And it does show you one thing very clearly, that new head coach Amol Mazumdar. I mean, there is a lot of work to be done with this side. It's not just about developing a new talent pool. You also need to kind of consolidate the team you have right now.
Correct.
Because we don't really know. There is no consistency when it comes to selection. Someone like a Renuka Singh Thakur, phenomenal performer, was dropped from out of nowhere,
Yeah.
then suddenly brought back. There needs to be consistency. You need to know, okay, this is what my 11 looks like, and then you need to try and figure out maybe another 10 players who will be there and thereabouts for that 15.
15.
Because
yes.
again, that is the key. You need to have that solidified select. And okay, so you can accept that it will take a little time, because India, as far as let's say, T20, women's T20 cricket are well behind the curve. Well behind the curve.
Most of the teams, I mean, before we take some comments here, I just like to sum it up. This series, you lost 2-1 to an under-strength England side. The test match will be there because half of the England side were busy on WBBL duties, and that's why they couldn't come. But now, folks, after this is the Australian women's cricket team.
That's going to be a toughie. That's going to be a toughie.
And as I've said in women's cricket, the Aussie women's cricket are right up here.
There's
There's daylight, and then there's the rest. That's how. Be warned, India. Be warned. This performances. Take this one consolation victory, but if you want to really compete with the best in the business, especially what 2020
There's a lot of
World
work.
T20,
A lot of work to be done.
lot of work. You are still wanting to come up on par. As Satish B saying, it was not England full strength team. Healy is warning already to prepare spinning.
HSL will be ready.
When are Australia never ready? And Gopal Krishnan, yes, I think that was also the key moment. Freya Kemp's 5 wides in the last over was the game changer. Yes.
And I agree with Akash Bharadwaj, says that India can't win a tournament like this because Australia and England are far. True, but you have to also remember, Akash, there's very much a building phase with this team right now. You needed to kind of get some of the older players out, bring in some young talent. That means probably temper your expectation for for a year or two,
Yeah.
let's see.
Satish B, your thoughts on Healy captaining Australian team? I think it's a natural.
The best choice, really. Couldn't have been anyone else.
Although the dark horse I felt could have been Elise Perry.
But Perry is not a guarantee across formats. On T20, she can
Exactly.
be hit or miss. I mean, I love Elise Perry.
I know.
But, it's a bit
It
problematic when it comes to formats.
Yeah, we should not take credit away from India, whatever the skill level of Ashish does. See, we are not
No one's taking
anything.
any credit away, but you need to point out the fact that A, you've lost the series to an not a B team really of England, and B, a lot of it was down to your own doing.
Yes.
It was. I'm sorry. That first game, if you had gotten the wickets quickly from 2-2, if you get them out at 120, the game was just taken. Second game, better shot selection was there for the taking. It wasn't ever a case of where you were comprehensively outplayed. More often than not, you were shooting yourself in the foot.
Exactly. That is why. See, now there is no thing that, we can't criticize India at all. Oh, they don't get that.
of
No,
course.
sorry.
need
India
to.
women's team and India men's team now deserve the same level of attention. And that's why if you get the same level of attention, equal appreciation or equal criticism.
You need to call a spade a spade.
Exactly.
Simple as that. I think we're done as far as, let's say, comments.
Mainak Bishwas, Amanjot is the all-rounder we need. She can be a Nat giver. We hope so.
I hope so. I mean, India do need a few more all-rounders. That's a given, because otherwise, you do need, let's say, to deepen the batting a bit also.
Yeah.
That is a problem. Of course, with Richa coming in, then Amanjot, that's potentially a good sign. But again, all of these are young players. Need to give them that little bit of time.
Exactly. So, yes, the end of the 3-match T20I series has happened. Now we are gearing up for the one-off test that's going to happen at DY Patil. Let's see how India performs. And remember, we are playing a test match in India after almost a decade.
Exactly.
Oof. So much for women's cricket, I'm telling you.
You
This is
need way more test cricket than that, guys.
warped
Seriously.
priorities. Imagine, just last year when India played Australia, 15 years later, they had played. BCCI, please wake up and prioritize women's cricket. From me and Shane here, it's bye-bye. See you soon, and we'll be back for more updates. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live.
All right.
Bye-bye.